morning, friends. Welcome to this service of worship for Boxing Day, December 26th, 2021. I'm glad you've chosen to tune in, whether it is Sunday morning at 10:30 or later in the day or in the week. I'm glad you're here. Next week, we will be welcoming David Faber in the room live to lead us in worship, as well as it being live streamed also at 10:30. So that'll be for next Sunday, January 2nd, in the new year. For now, I invite you to join me as we light our Advent candles. We remember the first Sunday in Advent, when we celebrate Christ as the bearer of hope, and the second Sunday in Advent, when we honor Christ as the bearer of peace. The third Sunday in Advent, we celebrate the joy of the season, the joy of his coming birth. And the fourth Sunday in Advent, the love of the Christ that we are all called to. On Christmas Eve, we lit the Christ candle, the candle of light. The light of the Christ is with us, here and now, and we are grateful. Our opening hymn is "Hark the Herald Angels Sing." Let's sing together. Our scripture this morning is from the Gospel according to Luke, echoing the prophet Isaiah. Luke 4, beginning with verse 16. When Jesus came to Nazareth, where he had been brought up, he went to the synagogue on the Sabbath day, as was his custom. He stood up to read, And the scroll of the prophet Isaiah was given to him. He unrolled the scroll and found the place where it was written, "The Spirit of the Lord is upon me, because he has anointed me to bring good news to the poor. He has sent me to proclaim release to the captives and recovery of sight to the blind, to let the oppressed go free, to proclaim the year of the Lord's favor." And then Jesus rolled up the scroll, gave it back to the attendant, and sat down. The eyes of all in the synagogue were fixed upon him. And then he began to say to them, "Today this scripture has been fulfilled in your hearing." Our handbells have a special gift for us now. Thank you to our handbell choir for recording that with Lois Lund directing. They recorded that this month, and we're grateful. I know we've been through Christmas Eve, which is, of course, the exclamation point of this entire season. But some of you were worshiping with us last Sunday, the 19th, when our children and youth presented their version of the Christmas story, acting it out, costumes and all. And so I want to share with you just a few little thoughts that come from a minister's Christmas Eve bingo that our office manager, Jackie, sent to me. So it looks like this. It says December Clergy Bingo. And just a couple of the squares in honor of last week's children and youth Christmas storytelling. These are things that ministers are supposed to cross off as they happen in December. There are many, I won't say them all. They're all humorous, but here's one. Fire safety concerns crowd out holy awe as two children treat their lit candles as lightsabers during Silent Night. And I have to say, they make very good lightsabers. Here's another one. Fight breaks out among siblings over who gets to light the Advent candles. Or another, awkward children's time when one of the children wants to know what virgin means. Okay, yes. And last one, last year's angel halos and wings found crooked and raggedy, but no time to make new ones. Just a few little December clergy bingo squares. We almost filled many of them, but not quite. We did all right this year. Oh, I forgot the whole point of this. The very last one I wanted to read was, I have nothing new to say about the baby this year. A minister who has nothing new to say about the baby this year. Such a common experience for clergy the Sunday right after Christmas, especially the very next day. But I think that's okay, not to have anything new, because of these words from C.S. Lewis. He said, we don't need to be told new ideas so much as we need to be reminded of old truths. I rest in that. We don't need to be told of new ideas so much as we need to be reminded of old truths. What is this oldest ancient truth in the Christmas story of the birth of God as love in human form, here and now, amongst us on earth? What is the old truth in this story? After all the hoopla and the pageantry, after the angels' wings and halos are back in their boxes, after the glitter is cleaned up from the sanctuary, after the trumpets are put away and the candles are scraped of their wax from being lit, what is the old truth of the Christmas story that remains? What does it mean for us today, now the next day, after Boxing Day? You know, the question is, what has changed? What has changed because Christ is born? I want to read you the reflection of one minister about this day after Christmas, about Boxing Day in particular. He says, at Christmas, some things always change. On this day after Christmas. For instance, last night, one side of the family gathered, and today the other side gathers in many families. In-laws and parents swap, and there will be more food, more presents, more people. Then he goes on, what about children? What are the children doing the day after Christmas? He says, I can only give you my experience from last night. After all the presents were opened and we had a fun day playing with all the toys, something happened. Both my daughters were asleep in bed, and I went to check on them. I found my youngest daughter under her blankets, but something was poking out of her covers. This is one minister telling his story of Boxing Day. Something was poking out of her covers as she lay in bed asleep. It was the hat and mitt set that Aunt Dora had given her. She wore it to bed. There was sweat coming off her body, but she would not remove the hat and the mitt set. What changes the day after Christmas? What is it that we put on Christmas Eve that we don't want to take off because we know it's so precious to us? Whether it's a hat and mitts, or whether it's this love born newly in our hearts. What is it that changes today because Christ is born? Love is here. It seems to me that nothing changes. We go on about our daily lives, and everything changes because Christ is born. How we go on about our daily lives is different. We're different inside because we know love is here. God is amongst us. And now we start again living that realization. Living, letting it change us, that love is born. Living, letting it change us, first inside in our hearts and then outward through our words, our actions, our very thoughts. If we don't let it change us, then the birth of the Christ might be in vain. Let us let it change us. That alone will change this world. When I was in high school, my favorite song as a youth, as I was learning the guitar, was Jim Strathd's version of I Am the Light of the World. It's based on a poem by Howard Thurman, which we'll read in a bit. I loved how it grabbed me year after year when we would sing it at Christmas and I would pull it out to learn it on my guitar in July. It grabbed me. When the song of the angels is stilled, when the star in the sky is gone, when the kings and the shepherds have found their way home, then the work of Christmas is begun. It grabs me even now. It grabs me every time we sing it. It grabs me every time I think of it. When the song of the angels is stilled, when the star in the sky is gone, when the kings and the shepherds have found their way home, then the work of Christmas is begun. It grabs me because it makes me stop everything and say, what is the work of Christmas? What is the work of Christmas that is to begin now that we have snuffed out our silent night candles? What is the work of Christmas that is begun now that Christ is born? What is the old truth that lives perpetually, eternally, because Christ is born? The gospel reading helps us today. The work of Christmas is this: to proclaim release to the captives, recovery of sight to the blind, to give a chance for the lame to walk. Always, always proclaiming the year of God's favor. The work of Christmas is to relate to what is eternal, where we can see, where we are not lame, where we are no longer captive, but freed. The work of Christmas is to relate to that on the inside so that we can be that on the outside, to be people who live free in the midst of this world, to live mobile in the midst of a world that wants to paralyze us, to live with our eyes open to love in the midst of a world that wants to keep us blind, to live for that which is beneath our physical lives, that is eternal love, to live for that through everything we do in these physical lives, through our words, our actions, our thoughts, through our very way of being. That's the work of Christmas. That is what will proclaim release to the captives and recovery of sight to the blind. That is what will give a chance for the lame to no longer be immobilized, but to move. There's a light within us that shines, this spark of the divine. It's always there, but on Christmas we remember it inside of us, and on Christmas we see it in others. On Christmas we honor this spark of the divine life and love that is always swirling in our midst. The work of Christmas from today onward is to live honoring that spark of love, to be those who remind others of it. May it be so. Amen. We'll sing our hymn, It Came Upon the Midnight Clear. There are many ways you can give to ministries, outreach beyond the church, through the church. You can go to our website, riverbendunited.org, and find ways to donate by pressing the button or the e-transfer address. We're grateful for everyone's gifts that have continued to be so generous and keeping our church alive and healthy, vital in these difficult days. I want to invite you to remember the Mission and Service Fund of the United Church of Canada. We support it through our church, and the ministries offered through it are vital. Our own Bissell Center is supported by the Mission and Service, along with many other ministries. So let's keep in mind our mission and service of the United Church of Canada. Will you pray with me? O God, when the song of the angels is stilled, may we keep hearing your song in our hearts. When the star in the sky is gone, may we keep seeing your light that shines through any darkness. When the kings and the shepherds have found their way home, may we be humbled and remember that we are one of many who together form your community of love on earth. May we be about the work of your birth amongst us by being vessels of your love and reaching out to those in need. We are not alone. Those who are grieving amongst us, we lift them up that they may know that they are not alone. May each of us walk newly in the old truth that you are born as love in human form with us, Emmanuel, and we are grateful. May this world move toward peace each moment just a little bit more toward peace and wholeness. And may your light continue to shine upon all who believe they walk in darkness, for they don't. We pray in the name of the babe in the manger, born so vulnerable, that we may know what true love is. Amen. We close with that Strathty hymn, I am the light of the world. Let's sing together. I want to say thanks again for worshiping with us this morning. I pray you have a blessed New Year and see you on the flip side of 2022. We leave with the poem by Howard Thurman that inspired that song, I Am the Light of the World. It goes like this. When the song of the angels is stilled, when the star in the sky is gone, when the kings and the princes are home, when the shepherds are back with their flocks, the work of Christmas begins. To find the lost, to heal the broken, to feed the hungry, to release the prisoner, to rebuild the nations, to bring peace among all people, and to make music in the heart. May we go forth, making music in the heart and sharing it with others. Go in peace, friends. Our bells will play us out. Amen.
Should we be practicing our ups
No, we
and our
shouldn't
downs?
listen. Let's just keep going.
Okay.
You think that would work? Sure. You think that